And Mr. Knight,
Yes.
EJ Capital versus Rashida Bay.
Yes, Judge. This is a strange case. This is a quiet title action in which the defendants previously owned a home that's now a rental home. And back in 2010, there was a quiet title petition that was filed in Fulton Superior because they paid property taxes. And the taxes were sold, and there was an order that was issued in 2012, 11 years ago, saying that they've lost title to the property. It was eventually sold to my client, who's had it since 2016. The defendants came in 2023, 7 years later, and filed a transfer where she transferred the property from herself to her trust, and then filed a dispossessory action in Fulton State Court, Fulton Magistrate, which we went and had a hearing on back in August.
Trying to dispossess your client's
They tried to
tenants.
dispossess my client. The court took judicial notice of the quiet title action, said you're not the owner, dismissed those claims. Now, and at the hearing, I said, listen, will you cancel your deed? If not, we have to come and file this action. And she said she'd think about it. She lives in Tennessee. Never heard from her. I emailed her. Never heard from her. So we had to file this action. We served her, Judge, personally, Ms. Bay and her trust, both on November 9th, 2023. No answer's been filed. We filed on January 10th the certificate of default and our military affidavit. And therefore, Judge, we request, we're not asking for damages because we know we won't be able to collect them. We're just asking for an order, quieting title, and canceling her, we'll call it the fake deed.
Right. Yeah, and I did have a chance to look over the file, and you're right, it is a little bit odd.
Yeah.
But sadly, that's what happens when nobody actually does anything with property that passes through 2 or 3 people having died, and nobody ever does anything about actually properly constituting the title and getting it put in a living person's name who's entitled to have it. In any event, everything that you submitted did look okay, and so we will go ahead and grant the relief that you're seeking and get that order on file.
Right.
And that you'll have your order probably tomorrow. Well, no, today's Friday, so it might be Monday before it's actually accepted, but we'll get it on file for you today.
Great. Thanks so much. I hope your sister's doing okay.
Thank you, Mr.
Right.
Knight. I
Take
appreciate it. It's
care.
good to see you.
Likewise.
Take care.
Yeah. Thanks, Mr.
Morning, Magistrate.
Morning. How are you, Mr. Vincent?
I'm good. How are you doing?
It's going to be a good day.
Ooh,
It's Friday. It's a holiday weekend.
you know what, Judge? If you don't mind, I'm going to sign out and then come back in if you'd let me in. I just want to rename myself.
Oh, I could rename you.
Oh, can you? Yeah, if you could just put the arraignment prosecutor on it, that would be great. Just so it's official.
Just so it's what?
Just so it's official.
Official or efficient?
Both, I guess.
Okay. I can take care of that for you.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Judge.
Okay. Is that to your liking, Mr. Vincent?
That's perfect. Thanks so much, Judge.
Okay. Wayne County Jail, 8th floor. What is your name?
Cordell Fleming.
All right, Mr. Fleming. Where is your attorneys?
Hey,
All right, Mr. Fleming, before we get to your main matter, I'm going to call your traffic tickets. You have a few traffic matters in which you failed to appear in court for, sir. As a result of your failure to appear, arraignment warrants for your arrest were issued. The court's going to set aside those arrest warrants, give you a personal bond on these tickets in which you failed to appear in court for.
okay.
First of all, these are misdemeanor tickets that carry a maximum penalty of 90 days in jail and or a $500 fine. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed on your behalf. The two tickets are P1073801, no insurance misdemeanor, driving unregistered motor vehicle, driver's license never acquired, March 15th, 2020, and driving license suspended, ticket P1094871, July 1st, 2020. Both of these tickets, sir, you have pretrial court dates February 12th in front of Judge Larry Williams. Is that clear, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I do have a
What
question.
is up with the?
Possible.
Go ahead, sir.
Oh. Yeah, because the Reagan, my attorney, he was gonna see if I can just plead guilty for probation today.
No, we're not gonna do that today.
Okay.
Okay. What is up with the defender's office today?
Well, it's just for arraignment then. Okay.
Yes. There you go.
Tanner, I can go down and see if they're ready if you'd like.
Thank you.
He's calling in right now, Your Honor.
Mr. Rod, good morning, good evening, good afternoon.
Good evening, Judge. We covered all the time zones.
Thank you. You know my saying. I just did Cordell Fleming. I just handled his tickets. We're gonna call his main matter. Case number 230-455-9301. Appeal State of Michigan versus Cordell Fleming. Mr. Fleming, state your name again for the record.
Cordell Fleming. Flesh and blood.
Pierces, please.
Jennifer Douglas for the people, P72748.
And Ryan Marad, PA 3665. On behalf of Mr. Cordell Fleming, we waive the formal reading. Mr. Fleming stands mute to this charge. He's been advised of his constitutional rights, Your Honor.
All right, court will continue. Mr. Fleming's not guilty plea. I have a capious bond of $1,500 cash for GPS tether house arrest. For January 10th, which is
Wednesday.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
And I think he's capious before. So argument is the bond.
Jennifer Douglas for the people, P72748. Your Honor, my understanding is that on the 10th, Mr. Fleming appeared by Zoom. However, looking at the file notes, Mr. Fleming told the court that he was an authorized representative of a corporate entity that had his name and that the court was a fake court. And it was at that point that the judge issued the capious. Before this capious was issued, Mr. Fleming had a bond of, what's that, 10,000 personal with,
Right?
yes,
Yeah.
Your Honor, with tether house arrest, Your Honor. And so the capious bond was 1,500 cash, tether house arrest. We wouldn't have an objection to it staying the same, but since there's a tether house arrest, we don't necessarily object to it being a personal, but we're not sure if Mr. Fleming now thinks that the court is a legitimate court and will show up as directed.
It's a legitimate court.
Wait,
but-
no. Don't say anything, Mr. Fleming. Hold up. I got
Okay.
you. I promise. I
Okay.
got you.
Rob?
Judge, so, I appreciate the people's argument, and I agree with it, Your Honor, to the most part. I don't think he's a flight risk. I think a personal bond would be appropriate here. But to say he's not gonna show up because he doesn't think it's legitimate, I disagree, because he showed up last time and he was on Zoom and made those arguments.
Did he show up under the right name?
Judge, with regard to the sovereign citizen argument,
How did he self-identify himself, sir?
So Judge, I wasn't the attorney of record at that pretrial conference, but what I can tell the court is this, is that he was required to appear on Zoom, Mr. Fleming, and he appeared on Zoom. Now, whether or not he identified himself as a sovereign citizen or not, I don't think that should relate to his flight risk tendencies as he has appeared. It's not like he did not appear. So if there's already a GPS tether house arrest, Your Honor, I'm just going to ask the court to consider allowing Mr. Fleming to be released on this personal bond. It is my understanding that he doesn't have a prior criminal history that I'm aware of, Judge. I would ask the court to take that into consideration. I don't think he's ever missed court. I just think that there may have been some sort of issue with his understanding with the proceedings and the way they're supposed to be conducted. But I think that's sort of been rectified at this point. We've had the opportunity to go over that with Mr. Fleming. He knows what to do and how to show up and what not to say to a judge. And for those reasons, Your Honor, I'm going to ask the court to reduce this to personal and to consider, just a personal bond. But obviously, if the court's going to do a GPS house arrest, we understand. We would ask the court to fashion a work-only provision as he is at Captain J's, Judge. He's been at Captain J's for 2.5 years. So I just want the court to know all that before setting bond.
Your Honor, may I
Captain
briefly?
Jason.
Oh, sorry.
Sure, go ahead.
I was just going to say that Mr. Fleming, his arraignment bond had been 10,000 person with tether house arrest. Wait, no, that's not right. It had been 10,000 cash tether house arrest, but at redetermination, it was lowered to 10,000, 10% tether curfew. When it went back to Judge Garrett, there was the tether house arrest was put back on, Your Honor. So we do think that seeing as how it had been a tether curfew at the time of redetermination, and then Judge Garrett decided to change it from tether curfew to tether house arrest. That indicates that Judge Garrett did not want Mr. Fleming to be leaving the residence.
Okay. Captain Jay has got some very good chicken wings. I'll say that.
Great,
Especially with the lemon pepper.
phenomenal. Oh my God.
Okay. But anyway, if you get some mambo sauce from DC, even better. But after hearing her argument, $1,500 personal bond, GPS tether house arrest, sir, show up in Zoom in the right name. Have some respect for the court.
Yes,
And we're gonna give you another chance at this. Do the right thing, okay, Mr. Fleming?
I try to uphold the law, sir. Thank you.
Okay. No, don't try. Don't try. Just do.
Right.
Okay. Have a good day, sir.
Judge, can I get the court dates? I'm sorry. I think I missed
Pre-trial
that.
court date, January 23rd. Judge Garrett, no contact with Ashley Coleman. Have a good day.
Thank you, Judge.
February 12th is the ticket. All right.
All right. We got Robert Cooper. Are you doing that, Mr. Murad?
Unless it's retained, yeah.